What's up, everyone? Justin here, back with a new Year in Wrestling Reloaded Part 3, I believe. I forget, but whatever. I will talk about and give you the results of Nitros in February 2000. By the way, this is Year in Wrestling Reloaded 2000. You had three major companies, WCW, WWF, ECW, all running pay-per-views every month. Also, they had TV shows on cable, TNN, USA Network, TNT. So, first I'm going to give you the results as some jackass is deciding to shoot off fireworks near my yard. Because they still think it's the 4th of fucking July when it's not. So I'm going to give you the results of Nitros in February and ECW TVs from February. February 7th, 2000, Monday Nitro from Oklahoma. First off, I want to say it is the 25th anniversary of the NWO when the NWO debuted with Hogan, Hall, and Nash. Hogan was a third man. It was awesome. So happy 25th anniversary to the NWO. One of the greatest, one of my favorite factions ever. Up first, a Nitro from the first Nitro of February 2000, Norman Smiley. Norman Smiley, it was not a tag match, defeated Evan Courageous with Shannon Moore and Shane Helms. They would become 3 count. I still have that 3 count song in my head that they used to perform. Like, everyone get on your feet, put your hands together, sing along with 3 count. I still remember that. They were like the NSYNC of wrestling. And I was no NSYNC fan, but that's what they were like, a boy band. Norman Smiley defeated them in about a minute 37. The Wall defeated Booker. He couldn't be Booker T. He was just called Booker. He was with Midnight. And Midnight, again, where the fuck did she go? She was around for like 1 or 2 months. I don't even know why they brought her in. I like The Wall. The guy was really good, I thought. He was better when he left WCW and he was in TNA for a little bit. He was also part of MLW for like 1 show. Sadly, I think The Wall committed suicide. I think. If he didn't, I apologize. But I believe he did. The guy's big. The Wall could have been a big top heel, in my opinion, in WWF if he would have went there after WCW closed. Send him to OVW. They did not. He went to NWA TNA in 2002, the first couple shows. And he's called Malice. Up next, we had Tank Abbott defeat the Barbarian in a shoot fight rules match. 54 seconds. That's pathetic amount of time. Also, I feel bad for the Barbarian. He shouldn't have had to lose to Tank Abbott. Tank Abbott was a fucking embarrassment in WCW. He was actually I get Terry Funk and Ric Flair were building up their match at Super Brawl. But why the fuck did David Flair have to defeat Terry Funk? Come on. I love Terry Funk. The guy's one of the greatest of all time. And I'm glad He's healthy. I don't know if he has dementia or not. According to Tommy Dreamer, he talks to him a lot. Tommy Dreamer said on Busted Open, Terry Funk is fine. And he did not seem out of it to him. But seriously, when you're 77 years old, you're going to forget a lot of stuff. It doesn't mean you have dementia. Just memory loss because of old age. Anyways, I pray and hope, and I send my well wishes to the Funker, Terry Funk, hardcore legend, one of the greatest of all time. So, I don't like David Flair that he defeated Terry Funk. I don't care if Terry was old in his 50s at the time, and David Flair's, I don't know, late 20s. Still, Terry should have beat the fuck out of him and won. Up next, we had Stevie Ray with Big T, formerly Ahmed Big Huge Stomach Johnson. Big T was definitely a big boy. And holy fuck, he was overweight. If you told me that was Ahmed Johnson from like 1995 to then seeing him in 2000, I'd be like, holy fuck, no that isn't. Who is that guy? Because the guy got huge and out of shape. Definitely didn't look like he cared to be there. Stevie Ray with Big T and Jay Briggs defeated Disco Inferno with Big Vito and Johnny the Bull. Bam Bam Bigelow defeated Brian Knobbs to win the hardcore title. Very short matchup. 2 minutes. 41 seconds. Referee was Fit Finley. Billy Kidman with Torrie Wilson defeated the Demon. Holy fuck, let's talk about the Demon for a minute. The guy was a rip-off Kiss parody. The Demon, like Gene Simmons' Demon from Kiss. He was a fucking wrestler playing a Kiss gimmick. I don't get it. Why? Why did you want a Kiss wrestler WCWY? Just because you got Kiss? I believe in Gene Simmons to perform on Nitro. I didn't care that they even performed. Kiss, I will say I like 2 to 3, maybe 4 good songs, in my opinion. Or 4 really catchy songs, maybe 3. Can't think of all of them, but whatever. I don't hate Kiss, but they're not my favorite band or my favorite music, but they did have like at least 4 to 5 hits. So Billy Kidman defeated the Demon. The Demon gimmick was stupid. Very stupid. Sid Vicious, the main event. Sid Vicious, the World Heavyweight Champion, defeated Scott Hall in 3 minutes. The problem with a lot of these Nitros in 2000 and Raws. But Raw had better matches and paced their matches better. But holy fuck, Raws and Nitros had really short matches in 2000. And they did way too many segments also. So that is Nitro from February 7th. Let's go to February 14th. This was a pretty big Nitro. It had a big fight feel. The crowd was pretty damn hot because they were in New York, Uniondale, New York, Nassau Coliseum. The fans were excited to get a Nitro. The WCW Nitro many times hardly ever went to the East Coast or New York or the New York area. But they did on February 14th from Nassau Coliseum. By the way, Nassau Coliseum was the home to many WWF house shows and pay-per-views. I'm trying to think. I think SummerSlam 2002 was from there. And SummerSlam 89. and probably many other shows. WCW never could run Madison Square Garden, I believe, because Vince basically wouldn't let any other company run there. And Vince and the McMahon family have a long relationship with MSG. But somehow they basically said F you to Vince and let New Japan and Ring of Honor run MSG. Probably because they paid up to run there. I think Vince even called, or WWE or Vince called MSG to try to get ROH and New Japan to not be able to run there, but they got to anyway. I don't know if that's even true, if he threatened MSG and was like, I'm not going there anymore. If you let them run, I'm going to just go to Brooklyn. So we had Lenny Lane up next, and Norman Smiley defeated 3 count in a 2-on-3 handicap matchup. Tank Abbott defeated Rick Fuller in 33 seconds by knockout. This was not the late 90s UFC, WCW. Why the fuck were you having Tank Abbott be a badass like he was, like this was like 4 years ago? This wasn't 96 when he was knocking people out in UFC. He didn't knock that many out, but he knocked a few out. And the guys that he knocked out probably were not that tough anyways. They were probably bar fighters. Because UFC in the 90s, you didn't need hardly any experience to get in a UFC tournament to fight. You basically didn't need much mixed martial arts experience. Tank Abbott, they claimed, was a pit fighter. What the fuck is that? That's not even real. He was just a fucking, probably bar fighter. Got in bar fights. Again, I hated WCW pushing Tank Abbott, and I didn't even want him there. Up next, La Parka. I always liked him. I think he's still in MLW. And his son wrestles one of his kids, I believe, has a La Parka mask and wrestles. La Parka teamed up with Prince Ikea. With Paisley, by the way, Paisley was Booker T's future wife, Sharmell. They defeated Billy Kidman and Vampiro. Ronda, I guess this was a women's match. They hardly had any ever in WCW, but Ronda Sae defeated Mona, would become Miss Madness. Mona was the future Molly Holly. She did a great decision. Very lucky she got to WWF at the end of 2000 and out of WCW because they were a fucking sinking ship in 2000. So she defeated Mona in fucking Oklahoma. Was the referee. I fucking hated Oklahoma. Fuck Ed Ferrara, you motherfucking piece of monkey shit, scumbag, asshole, motherfucker. Disrespectful piece of shit. Never gave a fuck about pro wrestling. Didn't care about it. You were not even a fan, I'm sure. There's no way you could have been a fucking fan to play a character that was making fun of JR when he was sick and had Bell's palsy. And he just had Bell's palsy in 99. And you fucking make fun of it. And your character, Oklahoma character, would like put on a funny face like he had Bell's palsy. It was absolutely disgusting, vile, wrong, and just a fucking sick, wrong thing to do. You're not a good person, Ed Ferrara. You were a scumbag. I don't give a fuck if you were trying to take a shot at JR and WWF. It was wrong. It did nobody any good. It didn't help WCW. It was pathetic that they had to make fun of JR like that after he had Bell's palsy, that went way too far. You crossed the fucking line. There's a lot of bad people or there were. I want to say there was, and maybe there still is, a lot of bad people in pro wrestling, in the wrestling industry. There's bad people at every job that are scumbags. But I want to say one of the biggest scumbags in the wrestling business ever was Ed Ferrara. Vince Russo was not that good either, but he was not as bad as Ed Ferrara. That guy deserves to get his ass beat every day, and he deserves to be shamed wherever he goes in public. If someone recognizes a ugly fuck, he should be shamed and yelled at. Jim Cornette, I believe, confronted him in 2002 and spit in his face. Good, I'm glad. He also deserved a kick in the nuts for playing Oklahoma. He should get kicked in his balls every day of the rest of his life for doing that Oklahoma character and agreeing to it. You dumb fat fuck. Ugly motherfucker too. And I hated it when he's in NWA TNA. He shouldn't even been there, the creep. You're absolute scum, piece of motherfucking shit, Ed Ferrara. Fuck you to hell. So, anyways, up next, fuck Oklahoma and fuck everything about that character. It was absolutely unnecessary and shouldn't have been done and put on TV. How the fuck did the standards and practices of Turner or WCW, how'd they allow that on TV? Making fun of a guy that had Bell's palsy and was suffering from it. I think he had it 2 or 3 times, JR did. And my guy JR suffered a lot in his life. The guy just lost his wife to a bad accident like 2 to 3 years ago. So up next we had Terry Funk defeated Lex Luger by disqualification. Mama Luke's, I'm going to fly by a lot of these Nitros because a lot of these matches didn't fucking mean shit because they were way too short. The Mama Lukes with Disco Inferno defeated Crowbar and David Flair and Harlem Heat 2000 in a 3-way to retain the tag team titles, and it was only 3 minutes, 44 seconds. What the fuck? Can't have a match, a 3-way, and it only be 3 minutes? That is god-awful booking and too short. That cannot get anybody over or any teams over. Up next, we had Bam Bam defend the hardcore title against The Wall, and he retained it. Another 3-minute title match. Nitros were booked god-awful in 2000. Dustin Rhodes defeated Chris Kanyon in 1:47. Another minute matchup. Booker, I guess he couldn't be called Booker T at the time, which was stupid because they took his name from him because he lost to Stevie Ray or something. Or Harlem Heat 2000 he lost to. So they stripped his name and his Harlem Heat music. Hulk Hogan then. This was like the main event in my opinion. It was the longest match of the night. It was a classic Flair Hogan, the same spots, the same stuff they did in 94, in WWF in 91. It was the same Flair Hogan match, but I popped and I fucking enjoyed it. I loved every minute of it. Hogan defeated Flair by disqualification, 9 minutes. 6 seconds, the main event was in the crowd in New York. Nassau Coliseum popped huge for Flair Hogan. Flair Hogan were the most over guys on the fucking show. And they were like well over Flair's like at least 51 I think. And Hogan is like at least 49 or 48 or something. I don't know. Maybe Hogan is like 45. Who knows? But Hogan won by DQ. That should have been the main event. But it was Jeff Jarrett defending the World Heavyweight title, and he defeated Sid Vicious in 5 minutes. That was stupid. I never saw Jeff Jarrett as a world champion. He should have never even been one in WCW. I saw him as a mid-carder. I don't hate him. I got no problem with Jeff Jarrett. I just thought he shouldn't have been world champion. Now, the February 21st, 2000 Nitro from Sacramento, California. Billy Kidman with Tori defeated Lash LaRue, or it was a no contest. 46 seconds. Again, the problem with all these Nitros, the matches are way too fucking short. Instead of a 2-hour episode, it seemed like this episode could have been an hour. Vampiro defeated Fit Finlay 3 minutes. Booker defeated Disco Inferno by DQ. Prince Ikea defeated the champion, by the way. Cruiserweight title match. Prince Ikea retains. I guess his character would go to be the artist formerly known as Prince Ikea. He was playing like a prince gimmick. And he had pretty cool theme music, at least. And a good entrance. So Prince IK defeated La Parka to retain a Cruiserweight title in 1:20. Again, how the fuck? I ask you at home. How the fuck can you have a title match that only goes 1:20? That's absolutely shit. God-awful booking and pathetic. And whoever booked it, you don't know how to book a wrestling show. Because if I had a company, I would not be ever book a title match for a minute. Dustin Rhodes and Terry Funk up next defeated the Harris brothers in a no contest. Or ended in a no contest, so no winner. Buff Bagwell defeated the Maestro with Symphony. She was formerly Ryan Shamrock from WWF. And for a very short time in NWA TNA, Ryan Shamrock was actually there when they started. The Wall defeated Bam Bam Bigelow. At least it was over 3 minutes. It was 4 minutes. The main event, Hulk Hogan with Jimmy Hart. He's back in the red and yellow. Defeated the Total Package with, or he did not defeat him. It was another no fucking contest. Hogan and Lex Luger went to a no contest. And then because they're building up towards Uncensored, where Hogan and Flair would have a strap match on pay-per-view in the year 2000, because that was a good idea. WCW, wasn't it? No, it fucking wasn't. I love Flair and Hogan forever, but they shouldn't have had matches on pay-per-view in 2000. Now the final Nitro of February 2000, the Mamalukes defeated Idol and Lane. Who the fuck was Idol? I don't know. Idol, who the fuck, what was that guy's name? Lodi? Maybe Idol was Lodi from Raven's Flock. I don't fucking know, but that's for the tag team titles, and the Mamalukes retained. Billy Kidman took on Booker T in a no contest for 1:20. 3 count, defeated Brian Knobbs. I guess every member of 3 count defeated Brian Knobbs, became the hardcore champion. Dustin Rhodes defeated Norman Smiley. Jeff Jarrett, the WCW World Champion, defeated Vampiro to retain the title. Prince Ikea defeated David Flair. The Maestro defeated the Cat. Ric Flair defeated Curt Hennig. Buff Bagwell defeated the Total Package by DQ for the World Heavyweight title. Or Jeff Jarrett actually was U.S. champion, not world champion yet. For the world title, Sid Vicious defended against Tank Abbott and retained. I'm sure that was shit, that match. So those are the February 2000 Nitros. Now let me talk about Uncensored 2000 a little bit. Uncensored. We had the artist, Prince Ikea, formerly Prince Ikea. The artist retained the Cruiserweight title, defeated Psychosis. Norman Smiley defeated the Demon, and Norman Smiley defeated Lane and Rave. Bam Bam Bigelow defeated The Wall by DQ. Let's get to the main matches. Dustin Rhodes defeated Terry Funk in a bull rope matchup. Sting defeated the Total Package in a lumberjack match. At the time, Lex Luger was like putting everybody's arm in a chair and breaking their arm and crushing it. So all their lumberjacks around ringside had casts on their arm, I think. I know Jimmy Hart did. He got his hand put in a chair. For the world title, Sid Vicious defeated Jeff Jarrett in 7 minutes only. And the main event was the Yippee Papa, whatever the hell it is, Indian strap match. Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan defeated Ric Flair in a strap match. It was the longest match of the show. 14 minutes, 28 seconds. I didn't agree with wanting to see Flair Hogan in the main event of a pay-per-view in 2000, but it happened, and I will admit, I did not hate it. And even if I watch it back today, I still don't hate it. Probably because I like Flair and Hogan. So that is Uncensored 2000. Also, Crowbar took a choke slam off like above the stage. That was pretty cool spot. And he got choke slammed through a stage by The Wall. But Uncensored 2000 was not very good. If I grade it, I'd probably give it a C-. Maybe a C. So now let's talk about ECWs. No, let's talk about Raws instead. So, the next video part, whatever, I don't know, part 4, I'll talk about ECW TVs. WWF Raws from, let's go to February 2000. And give you the results, and let's see what happened on Raws in February. I know one big thing that happened, the Radicals showed up. Chris Benoit, Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero jumped ship to WWF and showed up on Raw and SmackDown, and WWF got a great fucking deal getting those 4 guys, and WCW got nobody from WWF. So I still don't know how the Radicals got out of their contract, or maybe their contracts were up. I don't know. Or they lied to WCW and said we would sign new deals. Instead, they jumped ship. And Shane Douglas was a friend of theirs, friends of the Radicals. He said in a shoot interview from like 2003, I think. He said he was talking to them and he thought he was going to go with them, but instead they like turned their back on him and just left without him. Didn't even tell him what they were going to do. So some friends they were to Shane Douglas. But there's not, a lot of guys in wrestling aren't great friends. They're just acquaintances, and If you're in the wrestling business, you're lucky if you have like 10 to 5 friends that are true friends. Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, they're not friends anymore. That's pretty damn shocking to me, but according to Ric Flair, Arn Anderson did not even call him when his son passed. That's pretty fucked up in my opinion. He should have called him if he thought of Ric Flair as a friend. So up first on this February 7th Raw from Dallas, Texas, when the Radicals had their first matchup on Raw. The New Age Outlaws, the tag team champions, defeated Edge and Christian to retain. Kurt Angle defeated Mark Henry by disqualification. Again on Raw and Nitro, a lot of these matches were 2 minutes, 1 minute, 3 minutes. But on Raw, the show was run a lot fucking smoother and better. The timing was better. The segments were better, put together better. WCW just seemed like they were throwing shit at a wall, and none of it sticked. And they didn't know what the fuck they were doing in 2000. I will say Nitro was awesome. When it started in 95, 96, 97, 98, even 99, Nitros were still pretty damn good. I will say the years that Nitro's best, 96, 97, 98. Those were the best years of Nitro. 2000, it was a sinking fucking ship. Is going down like the Titanic. So up next we had the Hollies. Crash and Hardcore defeat the Acolytes in a hardcore tag team match. For the Intercontinental title, Jericho defeated Viscera by DQ. For the women's title, Jacqueline defeated Luna in a minute 15. Luna, by the way, was with her real-life husband, Gangrel. They should have really put them together on TV when they were in WWF. But they never did, really. I don't even know why Gangrel decided to come out with Luna. Probably because they didn't know what the fuck to do with Luna in 2000. I'm surprised she's still there in February 2000. She was still on a Raw. I forgot. And by the way, rest in peace, Luna. She was great as a wrestler and a manager. Very sad she's gone. The niece of the legendary Mad Dog Vachon. Up next, we had the Dudleys defeat D'Lo Brown and the Godfather. They kept feuding in January and I guess February. Now the main event. This was damn good. The crowd was really fucking hot. Watch it back on the Peacock, that is. Watch it back. Super hot crowd for the main event. A 10-man tag. Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, Triple H, and X-Pac. With Eddie Guerrero, Stephanie, and Tori at ringside. That's a lot of people outside the ring. They defeated Cactus Jack, Rikishi, The Rock, and Too Cool. Again, the crowd was so fucking hot for the 10-man tag. I will say, I saw a little bit of AEW Dynamite tonight. I recorded the show. I was busy, but the crowd was pretty hot for a lot of Dynamite. It was went on the road to Miami tonight, back on the road again. So that was the main event. That was a February 7th, 2000 Raw. Pretty damn good Raw. I remember that 10-man main event. It was really good. And the crowd was super hot. Anytime a crowd is hot for a match, it makes it better, even if the match is not good. February 14th, 2000 Raw. Devon defeated Edge. Jeff Hardy with Matt in a World Tag Team Title #1 contender triple threat match. So Jeff Hardy was in it with Edge and Devon, but Devon won. The Road Dogg defeated Grandmaster Sexay. Rest in peace also to Brian Christopher. Sadly, he passed away. I think when he's in jail, he passed away somehow. D'Lo Brown, the Godfather, defeated Head Cheese, Al Stone, Steve Blackman in a minute 29. That was pointless. Chris Benoit defeated The Rock. I'm sure they had a good match, because they always did. They had a pretty damn good WWF title match. I think at Fully Loaded 2000. Rock, Chris Benoit. S.A. Rios with Lita, the light heavyweight champion, defeated Crash Holly to win the light heavyweight title. Taz defeated Hardcore Holly by DQ. Rikishi, by the way, S.A. Rios, really good worker. Had the cruiserweight or light heavyweight title. Had it for a very long time, I believe, after he won it. Rikishi defeated Dean Malenko by DQ defeated Dean Malenko and Perry Saturn by DQ in a 2-on-1 handicap. Kane with Paul Bearer. Paul Bearer is back, is like a babyface, wearing a red suit and managing his son Kane. Kane defeated the Big Show and Triple H, and defeated them in a no DQ 2-on-1 handicap. So that's December 14th Raw. It seemed like, I don't know, it didn't have many matches. February 21st, 2000 Raw. And where did February 14th took place from San Jose. And I think Nitro in February was, one of them was from Sacramento. So here we go. Atlanta, Georgia, February 21st, 2000. Kurt Angle and the British Bulldog. I can't believe he was still there in 2000, but he was. Defeated Chris Jericho in China. I just watched that China documentary on Vice last night, and it was pretty fucking sad. Very sad. China should still be here. If you got an addiction problem to pills or alcohol or drugs, get fucking help. You don't want to end up like China did. So up next we had Too Cool defeated Head Cheese, Al Stone, Steve Blackman. Dean Malenko and Perry Saturn defeated D'Lo and The Godfather. Edge and Christian and the Hardys defeated the Dudleys and the New Age Outlaws in an 8-man tag. Mark Henry up next. Mark Henry and the Acolytes defeated the Hollies and Viscera. Chris Benoit defeated Test. Rikishi defeated Eddie Guerrero in a no disqualification match in 23 fucking seconds. So he squashed Eddie. Eddie, mostly in 2000, was basically a mid-carder, but he did a lot of comedy. He was really good with China, with him, in a storyline, where he was trying to, win over China, and then he ended up cheating on her, I believe, with the Godfather's hose, and China caught him in a shower. That was pretty damn funny shit. Really good shit. Eddie and China were really good together on TV. Taz defeated the Big Boss Man by DQ in a minute 26. That was pointless. Main event. The Big Show, Triple H and X-Pac. Big Show turned heel, by the way, I guess at the start of 2000. I don't know who he turned heel on and why, but he did. The Big Show, Triple H and X-Pac defeated Cactus Jack, Kane, and The Rock. So that is a final Raw not the final Raw. The final Raw is February 28th, 2000, Monday Night Raw from, let's see where the hell it is from. MSG, Madison Square Garden. We were on the road to WrestleMania by now, by February 28th. So here we go from MSG, the Hardys, and the crowd was hot as always. The New York crowds and fan bases are pretty damn hot and love the WWE and the WWF. The Hardys defeated the Acolytes. Rikishi defeated Kurt Angle by countout. For the European title, Kurt Angle would retain. Edge and Christian defeated Head Cheese. The Rock defeated the Brooklyn Brawler. For some reason, The Rock would have another match in the main event. And The Rock, in my opinion, in 2000, The Rock and Triple H and Kurt Angle carried WWF because Stone Cold was out. Even though Stone Cold would come back in October. So, after The Rock defeated Brooklyn Brawler Jericho, Chris Jericho defeated Perry Saturn. Crash Holly in a hardcore title match. Crash Holly defeated Mark Henry, or it ended in a no contest. I don't know why it'd be no contest. It's supposed to be hardcore rules. Taz defeated Chris Benoit by DQ. The Dudleys, the champions, the Dudley Boys, the tag team champions for the titles, defeated DX, and the Dudleys ended in a no contest against Road Dogg and X-Pac. The main event, The Rock defeated The Big Show with Triple H and Stephanie by DQ in a 2-on-1 handicap matchup. And then I think it was a March 2000 Raw, I think from Chicago, where Linda McMahon came out and said WrestleMania 16 would be a fatal four-way with a McMahon in every corner. And she would bring back Cactus Jack out of retirement and call him Mick Foley. So here, that's it for Raws in February. So the next Year in Wrestling Reloaded, I will talk about ECW Hardcore TVs and ECW on TNNs from February and March, and try to give you the results of a Nitro and Raws from March, but that's a lot of TVs to go over and give you the results to. I really don't want these Year in Wrestling Reloaded videos to run an hour. Sometimes they might, but I am going to try not to. Again, happy 25th anniversary to the NWO for life. 25 years. NWO going strong. You still fucking see these NWO shirts. I got an original one up in my room. Decided to wear this one. But happy 25th anniversary to the NWO that absolutely set the wrestling world on fire in 96. It was great. If you were not a fan, if you were not around to live through it, I feel sorry for you. I was around, and it was a fucking great, good-ass time to be a wrestling fan and to watch a WCW Nitro to see what the fuck the NWO was going to do. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and bye for now.